Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab. Hello, and welcome to the anniversary episode of One Little Spice. Now, I think we maybe had like 3 or 4 episodes this past year. We are celebrating our 3rd anniversary, and year 3 was a little weak. The pandemic happened.
I lost 40 pounds from stress and anxiety.
Exactly. I had some issues myself down here. I haven't seen my family in over a year and a half. Luckily, I have a trip scheduled up to Massachusetts to visit them and Amy.
Yes.
For the first time in forever. For the first time in forever.
You'll be... Sorry, I was just going to keep going.
I didn't realize we had 8,000 salad plates. Although it is getting to the point where we might end up having 8,000 salad plates.
Not
because
shocked.
I love buying dishware.
You do. You buy a lot of dishware, and not just Disney dishware.
Although I do have a full set almost of Disney dishware, minus the 2 plates that broke. Sadly, the collection has been discontinued and I cannot get them anymore. But I digress. So here we are, starting out year 4. We are very excited to share with you some really awesome stuff we have going on. We met with our producer, who is going to help keep us on track and help with editing so that we do not get any sort of overwhelmed and we can get you the content that we initially wanted to provide for you. Do you have anything to add to that, Amy, before we go into the details?
No, I'm just really excited to, come back, hit the ground running, to use a cliche.
What we are planning is to have 2 episodes released every month. Every other week is what we started to do year 2 and what we want to continue to do just because that rhymed. Just because we want to be able to spread it out, not run out of restaurants. I know they're always opening new restaurants, but we want to make sure we are getting you excellent content for each of the episodes that we record, so we don't want to do too many and lose the quality of the content that we are providing for you.
Quality over quantity. Something to remember in most facets of your life.
It's very funny because we actually just watched the episode of Parks and Rec with the William Henry Harrison Museum, where Leslie Knope is like, I'm calling this Operation Quantity.
Quantity! We want quantity!
So, we will not be like Leslie Knope at the William Henry Harrison Museum.
Nope.
But we will be giving you some awesome episodes with some awesome content. So the episode structure will stay the same. We will have Amy's Daily Dish. We'll talk about the atmospheres of the restaurants. We'll talk about the menus. We'll talk over what dishes we had that we loved the best. And you will get all of that amazing content every 2 weeks. We also want to release an extra episode each month. Initially, it was called Extra Spice with, and we would have a special guest on, but we are going to switch that over to be Extra Spice, which may have a guest star on it at some point, but it's just going to be that extra episode if there is any additional food content or anything that comes out that we really want to share that isn't necessarily to the guidelines of the episodes that we normally release. So if a awesome new food item comes out, or a new restaurant comes out, or is going to be coming out, or it's the festivals and we have brand new information on the new festivals, like Festival of the Arts, nope. Food and Wine Festival is coming out soon, so we'll probably have an extra episode going over some of the more detailed content of that.
I quite imagine at some point we'll have an episode about Festival of the Arts, but, not until it comes around again.
Correct, but I believe that is the last episode that we did release, so if you want to hear about this past year's Festival of the Arts, go ahead and have a listen to that. But I know the biggest thing right now has been the pandemic, so there's been a lot of things changing around the parks that has to do with guidelines and regulations and things like that. And that's something that we definitely want to bring to you, although it's not always food related, because that is something that's really important to the parks as far as all the crazy nitty gritty details of other things that are happening, like the People Mover opening and certain things like that, may not be something that we cover, but it may be something that you see in Amy's Daily Dish.
Yes. And safety is one of the, I believe it's the first key value or core value. So, we're going to be keeping an eye on that. You can
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say you could probably edit that out as I sounded weird, but you don't have to. I don't know. You can
No, that was great. And it's one of those things where when you are going to the park, even if you're not focusing on food, we want to make sure that you still have a great trip.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure that you are 100% prepared for any obstacles or any things that do come.
Yes, this is still going to remain a food-focused podcast, but we are going to basically continue, because we have been, throughout most of the episodes, bringing you any relevant Disney information that we think you need to hear about.
Correct, but mostly food. Posts that you will see on our social media. We are going to get back into a more regular release of content there, so you'll be able to find all that. We will be more active in the One Little Spice group that we have on Facebook, because we definitely love hearing from you guys, our listeners, because we love you so much and you are basically why we do this. So obviously we want to make sure that we are providing information that you enjoy, and if it's something that you haven't heard on the podcast episode, that we are still able to get that information out to you.
Exactly.
I think it is fitting on the anniversary, which just also happens to coincide with Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Amy and I are both enjoying extremely authentic gin and tonics for Cinco de Mayo.
Long distance clink.
Aw, that was a good clink. All right, so one announcement that we have that is fitting to be announced on Cinco de Mayo is we do have a new segment that we are going to start doing called the One Little Spirit Lounge.
I am so excited about this. So I do remember early on when we were doing planning, way back, I was like, oh, why don't we do a cocktail one? And for whatever reason, we're like, oh no, we'll maybe in the future. And we just never came back to it. And I'm really excited for it now because I love adult beverages.
Yes, and this will be something that we are going to try and either feature on our show or have as an extra. We haven't quite revamped our Patreon yet, but that is something else that we are working on. So our Patreon is going to get updated with new levels for you to support us from, and we will let you know once all of that information is updated and ready to go.
We'll also give you a heads up well ahead of when that's happening.
Yes, and our first little segment you can actually hear on the F Yeah Disney podcast that I do with my husband. It is an adult-only podcast, so do not listen to it with your children. There is some swearing and some adult content, but we wanted to feature it there first because it is a more adult-friendly podcast and get that information out to you as well. So look for that on the F Yeah Disney podcast as well. I do that one with my husband. So what we want to do with our One Little Spirit Lounge is we want to take a specific drink per episode, talk about it, talk about the origins of it, things like that, where you can get it in the parks. Like, let's say it's a gin and tonic. Not a gin and tonic. That's what I'm talking about right now because that's what we're drinking.
That is what we're drinking.
But I was thinking of an old fashioned. So an old fashioned is my husband's favorite drink. So I have enjoyed several of them across the parks. So something like that, we would say, hey, this is the drink. This is where you can find it. Here are the different variations of it. And then what we would also like to do is pair it with a YouTube video of us actually recreating the drink for you so you can figure out how to make it at home. Amy is actually mimicking shaking a drink shaker in the background, which is hilarious, but that is something that we want to share as well. And while this is a little bit more adult content and we are a family-friendly podcast, we are still trying to figure out the logistics of it and where we want to have these episodes for you. We want it to be something that you guys have access to, but that isn't something that your kids accidentally listen to while they are binging our show and then figure out how to make it old-fashioned. So we want to make sure that we are still staying family-friendly enough. Yeah.
The One Little Spirit Lounge will be family friendly, but it may not be interesting for the whole family.
Correct. It is about...
Your 4-year-old who's really into food may not be into, our opinions on the most recent margarita version.
So for our One Little Spirit Lounge, we also understand that not everybody likes to drink alcohol. So we want to make sure that we are also sharing some awesome mocktails that they have, because Disney has amazing drinks and not all of them are alcoholic. And honestly, even budget constraints can make it so that you cannot enjoy the alcoholic beverages at Disney. But we want to make sure that you are getting a lovely variety of all the beverages that Disney offers, because they are fun and awesome and delicious.
Yeah, I like a fun milkshake with a straw that's covered in sugar and marshmallows. That counts as a drink. That's spirited.
Yeah, and I remember at Flame Tree Barbecue, right after they reopened from the pandemic, or no, this was during Halloween. But they had one drink, and they had an alcoholic version and a non-alcoholic version. And I actually preferred the non-alcoholic version because it came with the color apple that I needed, the little glow cube. But it was really delicious. It was like Sprite mixed with sour apple syrup and had like a sour apple sugar rim, and the straw was coated with sugar. It was delicious. I think I would really enjoy a green apple Sprite.
That does sound nice.
I just think Sprite is too sweet for me. I need a little bit more of that like citrus sourness to it. Like 7-Up, great. Sierra Mist, great. Sprite, too syrup. Yes, that's why I prefer my Sprite as a fountain beverage, because the ratio of carbonated water to actual Sprite syrup is a little bit lower than what they produce in the cans and the bottles. That's how I prefer my Coke as well. But Pepsi I prefer in a can.
When we get to doing like the videos for the One Little Spirit Lounge of like the cocktail recipes, it would make sense as like certain ones that are like alcoholics, see what we can do to kind of make like a version of it that you might like to make that's non-alcoholic, but obviously like an old
without lacking.
Yeah, an old fashioned.
Yeah, an old fashioned is you can't really do much.
Yeah, exactly. We're also going to be getting Magical Snack Corner up and running again, or should I say up and going, because it was never not running.
Yes, so that is our extra episode that we have for our patrons on Patreon, so we are definitely going to dive back into that. Magical Snack Corner is an awesome name, but I was also thinking One Little Snack, since we're going on the
that's a good
the One Little S.
I like it. What do you think?
Yes. So I'm actually going to put a poll out. You will see that tonight after this episode comes out. That will be in our story on Instagram. So go ahead and vote for which name you like better. Magical Snack Corner still, or changing that one to One Little Snack. So we would have One Little Spice, One Little Spirit, and One Little Snack, and then our extra spice episodes.
We could also do One Little Snack Corner.
Oh, yes, because we do have the One Little Spirit Lounge. Okay, so that would be the option. Magical Snack Corner.
Just tell us what you think.
Yes, Magical Snack Corner or One Little Snack Corner. Either way, they'll be fun.
It will be.
But we will keep you updated on all the progress that we have going. I know that we have mentioned that our website is getting built and on its way up. I am finishing the final touches on the initial launch of the website, which will not contain all content that we plan to have on it, but you will get to see at least what the website will look like, poke around a little bit. We will have some of our reviews up, and you can see how that is going to look and continue to be added to as well.
Yes, we'll be adding the reviews slowly, but well, not slowly, but not. It's unlikely to be all the rest of the reviews all at once.
Yes, and the plan is, what we have started with is doing the reviews in order that the podcast episodes came out, so it'll kind of be like a partner to the episodes once we are finally up to date with that, but you can listen to episode 1 and then hop on and read about more information from Sleepy Hollow, because we'll be continuously updating those as well. So if something else comes out on the menu, or we've tried something else that we like from those restaurants, we'll be able to get those updated as well. And you will see dates for when those items have been updated as well, so you can kind of see how current they are too.
We may leave older information in the review, but it would be tagged as such. Like, it would be tagged, letting you know this has changed.
Yeah, exactly. We will leave all of our old reviews up so you can still see what we thought initially, and then whatever changes we have seen or experienced, we will share with you as well. And then one other thing that I did want to reach out to you all and ask you is, we love having you as listeners. The show is about you, but we want a fun nickname for what we call you guys. And we have been struggling, and not so much struggling, but we haven't really had that epiphany of what we would like to refer to you as. So we want your input. So send us an email, shoot us a DM on Instagram or Twitter, comment on one of our posts, let us know on Facebook. We want to know your ideas of what we can call you.
Yeah. Until then, we're just going to call you our listeners.
Our listeners. Next, we are getting ready to record new episodes of the Taste Lab, which is our YouTube cooking show that we have where we are recreating some lovely Disney foods for you. We have 2 that are out right now, but we definitely want to revamp that, get it working, change the format a little bit, and
a lot bit.
Yes, and the first episode that we will have for you for that will be the Nachos. You heard it right. The Nachos from Kim Possible. Made authentically.
Yes. I was going to tell a story, but I'll wait until we,
Actually are on that episode.
Record a Naco episode. Yeah.
And then last but not least, we do have a TeePublic store that exists right now. But I will actually be taking that down because we want to get a better set of merchandise for you guys that aren't just everything the TeePublic has to offer you can get our logo on. We want to have some more things that are geared specifically towards our podcast.
A refocus.
And items that we think you will enjoy more as we go along. I plan on making a set of One Little Spice Mickey ears for the Food and Wine Festival coming up, so we'll have those and some other really awesome items. So that will be down. However, you can find at least our One Little Spice t-shirt and a couple other fun Figment shirts on my Etsy for now, which is Murph Holzer Design Co., which has 2 H's in it. We'll put that in the show notes. If you are interested, there's also some other fun stuff there, but we want to make sure that we get you some awesome merchandise that you guys really want. So also let us know if there's anything specifically you would like to purchase or have as a One Little Spice, I don't want to say souvenir, but, and Amy can't say souvenir.
Nope, I can't.
But a One Little Spice memento. What would you like to wear or show off
or see
to show your One Little Spice pride?
Or drink from.
Yes. Anything at all. Let us know what you're interested in. But that is our plan for this year. And we will keep you updated on everything as it progresses. Of course, our new episode will be coming out probably not this weekend, but next weekend. But if it does come out this weekend, then surprise, a new episode on Sunday. Yay. But we will keep you posted on when those do come out. So finally, I do want to thank all of our listeners who have stuck with us through thick and thin and are still here today for our 4th year. You are amazing. We love you. We love hearing from you. That is one thing that I forgot to mention. So our fan favorite food segment was working and was great. But as far as the name for it, we feel like we want something that really encompasses Disney magic in relation to food. And I know during the pandemic, so many people have not been able to get to the parks. Disneyland hasn't been open for 4 gajillion years. Disney World wasn't open. Traveling has been a problem. So aside from just sharing your favorite in the park foods that you love, we also want to hear how you're bringing that Disney magic home and how you're experiencing the magic when you're at home when you can't be at the parks. Obviously with the Taste Lab and things like that and the One Little Spirit Lounge, we are helping you to bring some awesome Disney magic, Disney food magic to your homes. And even if you have made one of the recipes, tried it out, we're going to have some recipes on our website as well that may not end up as Taste Lab recipes, or you make one of the drinks, share stuff with us. Share a video. We could put together a compilation of videos for our YouTube channel. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear how you are experiencing Disney magic, because it's so important to us that you are having an awesome time and you are enjoying all the wonderful food that Disney has to offer, as well as listening to our podcast. So we want to know how we've inspired you. Share those with us through our email, which is onelittlespice@gmail.com, or you can share with us through a direct message on Instagram and Twitter. That handle is _little_spice, or as a direct message through our Facebook group as well. We really want to hear how we've inspired you. We love hearing those stories. We love being able to help you bring either Disney magic to your home or make your vacation extra special. So please, please share those with us.
And if there's anything you would like to hear from us, just let us know. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll take it into consideration.
Because while we enjoy talking about food, we want to know what you want to hear about. So definitely let us know. And once again, thank you so much to our listeners. You are all amazing. We would not be here without you. And just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice.
This episode was exactly 1 gin and tonic long.
It really was. I finished mine too. Hey!